Welcome, everybody. We are going to do a Mercury retrograde reading. The retrograde starts on the 4th or the 5th, depending on whatever. So if you're wondering when it starts, let's see what we have for you, Aquarius people. Aquarius, you have the Chariot, the Tower, and the Strength card. A bunch of towers today, so, again, there could be a global tower moment. It is Mercury retrograde. Every single Mercury retrograde, we have a bunch of tower moments, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was like a global tower moment or something weird happening in the world, and that goes for everybody. Aquarius, you have the spell work card. It says using magic spells or manifesting power is strong. It says cast spells to remove any kind of blockages or negativity. I feel like this is talking about manifestation. You have the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of manifestation, and so we'll talk about that right now. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and this just represents as above, so below. So he is in perfect alignment with exactly what he wants. These two sphinxes are not even attached to his Chariot because he's in alignment. So he just is trusting that because his energy is in alignment, that those sphinxes are going to bring him to where he needs to go. He doesn't really care how, who, what, when, where, why, or how he's going to get somewhere. He just trusts that he is in alignment and he gets to where he needs to go. He's also setting himself apart, and yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me. I think that Aquarius it is in this time where it's like you're starting to see these cracks in the egg that you've been living in your whole entire life. So it's like you're kind of like Leo, because Leo is your opposite, but it's like you're bursting through it out of an egg, right? And I feel that the Chariot card is saying that you are kind of like in this place in your life where you're about to set yourself apart and make yourself more unique. So I feel kind of like Virgo. If you have Virgo in your chart, Aquarius, I would definitely watch the Virgo reading from this set of readings as well, because again, I kind of get this like connection between the two in my head going on. So whatever, but I feel like you're kind of setting yourself apart. You have the Chariot. It's like, the funny thing is, I mean, you have the tower, but the funny thing is, I feel like you're kind of creating tower moments for other people. I don't even think this is you. Again, a bunch of people have the tower today, so, there could be a global tower moment during Mercury retrograde. Wouldn't surprise me. We're going to have a billion of them between now and 2033 or somewhere around there. Mark my words. I said this a long time ago before all this crazy crap started coming out, and everybody's like, oh, no, nothing. And then, boom, look, I was right. So, again, I promise you, there will be a lot of different things, that pop up for you, or that pop up in the world. But on a personal level, I almost feel like you're creating a tower moment for people or a group of people or something. It's like, maybe you're thinking about leaving your job, and that would create a tower moment for the people that you work with. Maybe you're thinking about moving. Like the tower and the Chariot can just be a move. So maybe you're thinking about moving, and that will bring you into a new reality, but it could be causing a tower moment. So again, maybe not for you, but for other people. You have the Strength card. The Strength card, of course, represents strength and your strength. So I feel for a lot of you that you are creating like new levels of strength in your life. I feel like you have been very strong. I feel like you've had a lot of like little life lessons over the past like couple years as well. And what I mean by like little life lessons are just like little moments with like foot and mouth, right? We call it foot and mouth disease when you should have just put your foot in your mouth instead. And so you've had a lot of moments over the past few years where you've kind of like, stuck your foot in your mouth, or you said something you didn't want to say. I don't know why that's popping up in my head as important, but I feel like it is important for you because I think you've learned a lot from those moments, but mostly about other people. And so now that you have like learned all these things, I feel like you're just kind of like becoming a stronger person, becoming a different person in a good way. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth, and you have the Chariot. So some of you definitely could be moving, or you could be traveling, or just expanding out into the world at this time. I mean, I believe personally that we are in a very expansive time where there is a lot of room for growth. The reason it doesn't seem like it is because it seems like there's a lot of restriction. The restrictions that exist are just old world restrictions. I believe we need to fill this new world with better ideas and not live based off of the restrictions. So I think that for a lot of you, I get something about restriction and kind of breaking free from certain restrictions. With the Tower, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're rebuilding. I think a lot of you are kind of like cracking the egg. Like I said, it's like you're popping out of this egg into a new world, or your new world. And I feel this is just saying you're planting new seeds in new directions, and that's it. I think you're kind of like growing new fields, or sowing your wild oats here, Aquarius. And I feel like that's going to be really good. With the the Strength card, you have the Five of Wands. Everybody's had the Five of Wands in all these readings, so conflict, competition. Really, I feel this Mercury retrograde, it's probably resistance that we're all feeling. We're all very like this close to maybe having a breakthrough or pushing through some sort of obstacle in our life, or overcoming something, or starting something. So it could be any of those things. And I feel the Five of Wands is saying to everyone, push through that obstacle, whatever it is. Even if you don't feel like you can do something, just do it anyway, because you'll probably push right through it, and you'll get through whatever the situation is. We'll do a collective as well. So collective, let's see what we get for you, collective people. Let's see, collective. So for the collective, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. For the collective, we have this workaholic card. It says having a strong work ethic and giving it 110% all of the time. It says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I actually feel like everybody in the collective is going to be feeling very motivated. So again, it could be one of those retrogrades where people really feel more motivated, more energetic, not the other way around. I would say that I do think it's a good time to practice taking a rest, or getting rest, or taking a break. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, pretty much in the same area of the sky in Leo. This Mercury retrograde's in Leo, and also Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. And so I kind of feel it's like a little bit of practice for when we get there. Leo is kind of like our life force, our vitality. And so when Mars goes retrograde there, you're going to want to have energy saved up. So if you feel like working, work. If you feel like resting and sleeping, rest and sleep. Like, practice collecting your energy so that when we get to the end of the year, you have more than enough energy to get through the end of the year. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. I think that it's a good idea for everyone to practice resourcefulness at this time. We are literally in a time of resourcefulness. Why do you think all this weird stuff is happening with money and all that other stuff? So Queen of Pentacles doesn't say don't spend money. She just says, be resourceful. If you can do something for cheaper, or, if you can get things on sale, or if you can find a better way to make money, or any of that, that's what I would be looking for, and that's what I would be studying with the Queen of Pentacles. Collective has the Seven of Cups as well. Big dreams at this time. We have Neptune and Pisces. We also have Saturn and Pisces. So Neptune and Pisces is your crazy ass idea. Saturn and Pisces says get your ass moving. And if you actually start working on that crazy idea, then you might just create whatever it is. So I think we are in a time of big dreams. Neptune's going retrograde as well. It is, and Saturn. And so, again, I think that now is the perfect time with Neptune going retrograde to kind of like take that crazy idea and ground it in reality. When you think about it, when it's moving forward, being on Neptune would be like being under 100 hurricanes going 10,000 miles an hour with, high seas, waves, 200 feet tall, the craziest thing you could possibly imagine, right? So now that Neptune is going retrograde, it's kind of like calming down. And now is the time where we could manifest our wildest dreams if we put the work in. So I would make sure to put the work in with that Seven of Cups. You have the Eight of Wands collective. And let me just do this real quick. The Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. The Eight of Wands is also good news. But also remember what I said earlier about the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like the slip and slide of life. We have to, and I think this is what everybody should be doing until like 2033. So, almost the next 10 years. I think we all need to be paying very close attention to what causes friction, and we need to pay very close attention to what removes friction from our life and speeds things up. As long as we double down on those things that speed things up or make things more efficient, we will be like 30 times more successful than we normally would be. So make sure you're paying attention. With the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, love is changing. So I think that for those of you that want love or marriage, love is changing. I also feel that this could be the opportunity for blessings. He is blessing these two people in front of him here. So I really do feel that there could be like a really solid opportunity to receive some blessings in your life. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. Yeah, I think people need to like stop dreaming about relationships at this time as well. So Neptune going retrograde is great because it's like part of my problem with Neptune, especially in Pisces, is it's like the fantasy. It's just mental masturbation, basically. It's like the fantasy feels better than the reality, or actually you don't know, because what happens with Neptune and Pisces with relationships is like we get into a relationship, but maybe we just are like talking to the person, right? Or maybe we are just texting the person, and we develop this fantasy around the connection. So the fantasy, we kind of don't want to lose the fantasy, so then we never make it a reality. And right now, with Neptune going retrograde, it's time to, make that fantasy a reality. This could be love, but the Two of Cups could also just be something that you will love in your life. It could, Two of Cups can be you and your higher self, and your higher self is trying to communicate with you, which showed up like 20 times today in all the readings, right? So clearly it's a very spiritual time, and Mercury retrograde can be very spiritual. So I think we have to, if our higher self is telling us to do something, we need to like manifest whatever that is down on earth. With the Eight of Wands, you also have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles says get to work. Eight of Pentacles is, what's more important than that, though? What I really want to say here, collective, is that Eight of Pentacles is about looking at your work. It's about seeing how much work you have already done. It's about looking at what you have already accomplished and putting that into perspective. Sometimes I think we need to back up and look at everything that we've accomplished, because then it makes the next thing we're about to do 20 times easier. Because if you're too focused on work, you're not seeing that what you're about to do could be easier, and I feel like this is saying, it's like you already have all this knowledge and wisdom, which came up a lot during these readings, and now by putting things into work or putting things into practice, you'll be able to accomplish something, the next thing much easier or faster or whatever. So there you go. Thank you, Aquarius, and definitely enjoy the rest of your week.